Same thing as there we go. The Hangout is live. Bumper music, blah blah blah. Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of a Skyrim Addict podcast. This is the Roundtable feedback episode for session 4 of the inaugural Skyrim Special Edition Roundtable. Today we're going to be talking about 4 pretty significant quests in the main quest line. That is Alduin's Wall, the Throat of the World, Elder Knowledge, and Discerning the Transmundane. This is Pat. I'm driving the show this afternoon, and I am joined by Victor. How you doing,
Hey,
Victor?
How's everybody?
I'm great. Thanks for joining in, Victor. Also joined by Marcus.
Hi, guys.
Marcus, good to talk to you. And by Colin.
My apologies, but I'm here.
It's a dirty job, Colin, but somebody's got to do it. We're glad to have you. All right. Well, so we don't have a whole ton of listener feedback. A couple good comments from a few different folks. But before we get into that, maybe we'll just do just a little catch up on what everybody's been up to in terms of latest gameplay, latest mod action, whatever else is going on. Colin, you were sharing with me right before we started that you've been spending a fair amount of time in ESO. Have you done anything in Skyrim proper? Or you mostly been online?
No, I've just been online, chatting away with one, doing some ESO stuff, playing around, picking up some motifs and some decorations for the house, which I haven't bought yet because I haven't got enough money. Because my character is Jonaria Arkvalen, and she's kind of fancy. So she's waiting to get enough money to get the fanciest of fancy houses. So she's got a way to go before she can afford one of the big estates.
They're all empty too, aren't they? When you get them, yeah.
You can pay real cash money to buy them. Like you can buy crowns from the crown store and then use those to buy your house, and then you can use those to buy your decorations. But obviously, real men like Juan and myself won't do that. We'll use in-game money and in-game gold and earn it the honest way. But mostly you have to do it by thieving. If you don't thieve, you won't find enough crap.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay.
Yeah. So, definitely don't have a goody two shoes character, because when it first started, you were allowed to open up any container and every container and pull whatever was out and walk away with it. But when they brought in sort of like the Thieves Guild and a crime thing, if you pull it out in front of it and steal it from somebody, you will get attacked by the guards and sent to prison. Well, actually just killed.
Wow. It seems suboptimal.
So all the good stuff is basically in those containers that are in the towns. You can find them in dungeons, but they're more prevalent in towns. So you want to do some thieving to get the really good stuff.
So there's not a bounty system like there is in Skyrim?
Yeah, there is bounty system, but it's kind of instant. The guards, they don't really sort of like ask you to hold. I think they just attack you. I haven't been caught much. I escaped once, haven't been killed. So like literally when I get a bounty, I just hang around outside the towns, kill stuff out there, do quests, and wait until because over time your bounty will run out. The longer it goes on, then it disappears.
So is the bounty by town rather than like by hold, or what's?
No, I think it's all over the place. But if you only, the town guards are only in towns, so they won't chase you out into the wilds continuously.
I've only just started to try to ease my way into it. There's a lot to learn.
Yeah, I mean it is huge, the world. I mean everything that you can do it, the 3 different factions you can go with, all the different races. So the best advice I can give you is just go as slowly as possible and don't even look at the rest of the world. Don't try and do everything all at once. Get it so you're nice and comfy, and then just trot along at your own pace, because to be able to do everything will take you like 4 years to be able to do everything in the game.
Yeah,
It's not something that you're supposed to get max level in like 3 or 4 months like you do in Skyrim. It's a 4 years, I would say it would take you to do everything in that game.
Yeah, I've been taking it in little sips.
Yeah.
So can you? Is there still a window to port over a character, or was that a one-time thing that's already passed?
That's a one-time thing, already passed.
Yeah.
And I hadn't the option. I didn't have an Xbox at the time, so I've still got my PC character and I've got my Xbox character.
But you can link accounts, right? Because when I signed in with the Xbox, because that's where I'm playing now, it offered me the option to link my account. I'm not sure what that meant, but I said yes anyway. So,
Yeah, no, that links your account with I think like with your Microsoft and stuff like that, but you can't pay for your subscription for the PC and that cover your Xbox subscription. You have two separate subscriptions.
Oh yeah, no, that I got. It's just I thought maybe at first I thought perhaps I was going to be able to use the character that I had started on the PC, but that wasn't the case. So
no.
Anyway, it's.
Yeah, I pressed the button that said link your accounts, and I didn't know what it did, so I just shrugged my shoulders and carried on going.
Yeah.
It didn't sort of. I think it just says, "All right, well, congrats, you now got 2 subscriptions."
Yeah.
So all right.
Yeah.
So then I cancelled. I used my ink because every month they give you a certain amount of crowns. I think it's like 1,500 once a month, and where I'd subscribed for so long, I could use those in-game crowns to buy all the DLCs outright, and then I just cancelled my subscription. So I still have everything that I played, and everything's all saved in all the DLCs that I played with my PC character. But he doesn't have to subscribe anymore.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
I'm paying $8.99 per month.
Nice.
The only advantage with PC is that you can buy. Me and Juan were talking about it yesterday. You can buy a lump sum of subscription on PC, but you can't on Xbox. You
Lump
have
sum
to pay
meaning what?
you can only pay exactly what they say a month. So like you have to pay. I think it's $8.99 a month. But if you and that's every month, whereas PC you can buy 6 months in advance and get it for slightly cheaper, and get a year subscription for even cheaper than that.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I've been threatening one for a little while that I was going to start ESO on, but I haven't got around to it at the moment.
I was saying to Pat earlier on, I was trying to brag to Juan about something that I'd done in ESO, and I said it was kind of redundant. Bragging to Juan about something that you've done in ESO is like bragging to Victor about being able to download a mod.
So very, very, very pointless.
Yes, yeah. He literally has done everything. So he's like, yeah, I done that. Oh, okay. I done that on 3 different characters. All right. Screw you guys. I'm going to kill a monster.
Oh, too nice. Oh well, cool. That's the other thing I'd ask Colin right before we started was just sort of the quantity of like gamer kiddies you run into, because that's the part that kind of scares me away from online gaming, is that I just wouldn't want to have any I just wouldn't have any interest in being thrashed by people who are much better or much more experienced at the game than I am. And I don't know if that happens. Colin was saying that doesn't happen to him very often.
It doesn't seem to be that kind of game. I mean,
That's good.
It's not like it is a game. It seems to me anyway. It's an MMO that you can really play as a single player, without worrying about much. Unlike like Guild Wars or some of the other ones where it's really designed to be played as an MMO.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, that seems to be the sort of the ethic that ZeniMax went for, since the Elder Scrolls really is a single player experience.
Yeah.
So
I would definitely vouch for that. It's a very complete solo experience. You can do so much in the world solo, and you can do it. There's a good chunk for group play, and there's a good chunk for PvP, but the majority is for single player and solo missions, going along, doing your own thing and completing everything on your own. You don't have to worry about sort of like, there's certain world bosses, but there's nothing as as we say in Skyrim, there's no lock picking skill or anything like that you'll need to complete a quest. It's the same. To be able to do all the single player quests and go through the entire game, you won't need to have a group with you, not unless you go to a group instanced place, like a group dungeon, and they're all so named. This is a group dungeon, this is a group area, you're going to need a group. But to do the main quest, you never need a group. You can just do it all on your own.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, when I was listening to some of the podcast back episodes when ESO, I guess, was newish or brand new or whatever it was, I think I remember people talking about like trying to do some of those group dungeons solo. Is that something that people do as kind of an extra challenge, or?
Yeah. Was it that there's obviously normal caves that you run in, you do solo, and then there's one that's called public dungeons, which are a little bit tougher. You get basically what they call mobbed. So you'll get sort of like, instead of getting maximum of 3 people attacking you, you'll get 8 or 9 attacking you each time and each instance. But if you've built your character well enough, they can take that beating and they can go through it solo in the public dungeons, which are supposed to be group, but not really. You don't have to be in the best gear and you don't have to have the best weapon. As long as you've built your character and they're fairly sturdy, they can get through that public dungeon and do it solo without any worries. Same with the world bosses. You'll come along and then you'll see this big giant black skull and crossbones on it, and that's basically a world boss, and he is supposed to be taken by a group. And if you've built your character correctly, you can actually solo it. My character, she's completely in light armor and carries a staff and has absolutely no stamina, and you need stamina to be able to block. But she can do some of the world bosses, not all, but she can do some of them. And then other times she'll sort of like, go away, come back, and then come back late at night for me. And that's when some of the American guys come on, because I'm on the North American server. And then I'll get 2 or 3 people, and then they'll all attack at the same time, and then we'll be able to easily take her down.
So
but then there is other ones that are like group instant dungeons. This is a big group dungeon. It's supposed to be done by a minimum of 4 people. Don't do this alone, you will die. And I've gone in there solo and died instantly. So like for the first couple of people. But one was saying that he and one of his guild leaders, Earless, I believe his name was, he does those all solo. Wow. He can get very powerful armor sets, and he just runs through those dungeons doing them solo once or twice when he gets on and he gets some spare time to try and get the particular pieces of that armor that he needs to be able to max out his character. And it's very, very impressive for a single player to do it, because usually they say it's a minimum of 4.
Wow.
Nice.
That takes dedication.
Definitely. So if you wanted to, like, if you wanted to get into the game and you wanted to game with friends, do you just have to be on the same server, or do you have to have a more close connection to actual real life friends? If you wanted to game with Juan, do you just need his username, or is it some more complicated process to do a dungeon with somebody?
I just need to know his either his gamer tag or his character name. I think it's Moral Kyo. I think my character's name is Jonaria Arkvalen. And you just need that one. And as long as you're on the same server, now since they brought out the one Tamriel update, you can game with anybody, anywhere, any-when.
Nice.
You
can go anywhere in the entire world.
Yeah, nice system. Very cool. So that's that was really helpful. Thanks for sharing those details. I picked up some of that just through listening to some of the back catalog of the show, but hearing some of those current updates is pretty nice. All right. So Victor, anything going on before we kind of jump into content for the show? Anything you got going on you want to chat about?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been playing my Roundtable character a whole lot. I played her a bit today to work on some stuff, but I've been messing around with Skyrim SE a lot lately. Trying to work that out because I just upgraded my computer a bit. I put a 1070 in it, and so I've been trying to kind of stretch the legs of the 1070, I guess is the best way of putting it, and throwing a lot of crap at it to see how it does, and it's pretty amazing. So I spent yesterday just throwing a ton of mods at SE, lots of textures and everything I could throw into it, and it's doing pretty well. It's really pretty when you get it sort of dialed in with an ENB and stuff. I think I don't know. I wasn't all that impressed with the upgrade when it, just the vanilla, in terms of comparison to legacy Skyrim with a good ENB. But I thought they sort of overdid some things. The God rays were overdone. It was kind of they put a little too much sort of covering mist in there, and they oranged things up too much in the mornings and the evenings. But once that's balanced out, it looks pretty amazing. So that's my life with Skyrim is just sort of tweaking the game, not really playing it. So that's what I've been doing. And actually, I've just for anybody who's watching this sort of thing, there's a mod that I had seen and hadn't really played with until recently. It's very simple. It's called Warmth. And it's a wonderful idea. Anybody who is familiar with vanilla Skyrim armor, notably the studded armor and the scaled armor, will know that it looks utterly ridiculous when you're prancing around in this cold environment with your bare chest covered with this leather thing over your heart and a skirt of fur. So Warmth gives you an option to make several of these armors, including the sleeveless leather armor, into sleeved and armors. So that doesn't change the values any. It doesn't buff them up or anything like that. They're still vanilla values, but they look superb. They're really, really well done, and it just makes wearing that scaled armor look more realistic when you're running through a blizzard. So highly recommended. It's called Warmth, and I'm not sure if it's available for Legacy or if it's SE only, but it's something worth looking up.
And do you know, is that PC only, or
I haven't looked for it on Xbox yet. I think it might be PC only right now, but that will probably change. It's a good enough mod that I suspect that if the author is into it, that they will put it on Xbox eventually.
Yeah.
But that's basically been all I've been doing. I'm working on a project, but I won't really talk about that at this point. So,
if you had it, well, if you don't mind asking, are you guys having any luck with your Mod Talk feed yet? Or you guys still having hangups with that?
It's that's in stasis at the moment.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for various reasons, not just because of the issues with TalkShoe.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my only problem with those Frostfall mods and stuff like that is when you get to places like Dawnstar and the bastard working on the smelter is just standing there in a pair of ragged trousers and nothing else.
Yeah.
I had, Frostfall installed, Cloaks of Skyrim, and whatchamacallit, what's the one that Winter is Coming. So they had the big fur cloaks. I went, this will sort it out. I got to Dawnstar, and he's standing there. All right, yeah, he's wearing a big fur cloak, and pair of ragged trousers and nothing else. So he's still bare-chested, wearing a massive fur cloak.
Yeah, it all depends.
Sure, he's just not a man's man. And you're just
really.
I think he might actually be Scottish, yeah. Or from Newcastle. Anybody who's from Scotland or Newcastle, they're they've got antifreeze in their blood. So
Yeah, it's just a matter of what's in the leveled list and what isn't, I guess. So, but. And I'm pretty sure that mod that I mentioned, Warmth, is Frostfall aware. If you're using Frostfall, it is aware of Frostfall's, temperature ratings and warmth ratings. But mostly it's just a visual thing, just for so.
Nice. So, Marcus, what have you been up to? Anything to share with the crew here?
Sadly, only real life stuff, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry. It really sucks so much when real life intrudes. Yeah.
So no, I've literally not picked up a game in 2, maybe 3 weeks now.
Oh no.
Wow.
So yeah, I think my Xbox is gathering dust at the moment.
Wound right to the heart. Well, maybe Marcus, maybe we'll stick with you. Maybe we'll pivot over to talking a little bit about characters here. Maybe just a little quick refresher. Marcus and Colin Victor and Colin were on the last regular show episode. I missed that one myself, so maybe you and I can give a quick character refresher before we start jumping into to quest feedback. So Marcus, what's your roundtable character?
So my roundtable character was called Tanis Katrin. He is a rune mage. So I put on a few bits and pieces. Ordinator and what was the other one, Colin? It was
Apocalypse for the spells.
Apocalypse. Yeah. So that really basically made my character in essence, because the role that I got was heavily on the magic, and I picked out, I think it was rune specialization at that point as well. So really in the end, that pretty much made my character. So I think I've gotten about as far as the last show, where I think we'd just gone through and gotten the Horn of Jurgen, Windcaller, and all the rest of it. I think that's about as far as my character had gotten at that point, and then pretty much life got underway at that point. Yeah,
that's right. As soon as you said it, I remember all the fun stuff you've been doing with runes. That sounds like that's so that's Ordinator that does all the different rune destruction mechanics. Is it Ordinary? Which of the two, Ordinator or Apocalypse?
I think it's Apocalypse, isn't it, that does all of the spell bits and pieces, and then Ordinator changed the way that it was put together.
Yeah, applied. Yeah, the Ordinator is the perk overhaul mod, so it changes all the perks, and it adds to runes that you can increase how many you can lay down and increase how far away you can put them. So you could literally be above somebody and then lay it down above them, or if they're above you, you can throw it up onto the wall next to them.
Yeah, there's a small branch of the destruction tree devoted to runes in Ordinator. Yeah.
So I've still not really played with any of the serious mods because I've been sort of achievement whoring a little bit with my character, so staying pretty vanilla. But I was watching a Twitch streamer play around with the Ordinator, and at least the particular, I think he was in Destruction. The particular one he was in, the tree was not only different, but it was also looked like it was a lot more complicated. Is that, or a lot more dots in it? A lot more different. Is that? Did I see that right, or maybe I just didn't really see it clearly?
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. It really does flesh it out quite a lot.
Yeah. So you're not going to be as likely to say, quote unquote, sort of 100% a perk tree in Ordinator. You're going to focus on a particular path. Is that?
Yeah, the same goes for Percus Maximus. He may have been using Ordinator. Did you say he was definitely using Ordinator?
He was definitely using Ordinator, although he was he may have been on Legacy, but I assume that doesn't matter for that purpose.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little harder, and that's why the mod author for Ordinator has 2 little patches for his mod that, if you want, will give you 20% more perks or 50% more perks. So that means, if you choose the 20% option, you get an extra perk every 5 level ups, which is I think is reasonable, and
Yeah.
It really helps with those huge perk trees. So it's the same thing that we used to use in Legacy with the community uncapper, which is actually a heck of a lot more complex than just a few extra perks. But the uncapper allowed you to do that as well. So
yeah, I guess I can see it too. That even in the vanilla game, there are certain things like the one-handed tree, for example. It's got the very specific battle axe branch, the mace branch. So unless you just want to intentionally be a jack of all trades, that's one you're not gonna. You're not gonna. There's no reason to get all those one-handed. You want to get the ones that give you more damage or whatever. But all the other things, you're not going to get axes if you're a swordsman or vice versa. So I guess Ordinator just kind of takes that to a much greater degree.
Yeah, and also to be sort of equalize, or to be sort of fair to the Legacy version of the vanilla version of the game. I mean, the vanilla perk trees contain a lot more multi-level single perks than Ordinator does. So you'll have like 5 levels to like the first perk in a tree.
Oh yeah, right.
And so where Ordinator kind of spreads that out over a lot. There's a couple that are 2 levels, but that's about it. So you can sort of add those in. It's not like there are that many more in Ordinator. There are more, but it's so anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense too, because like Destruction, what you got 1 to 5 for for some of the things, and 2 or 3 levels. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's something I'm definitely going to play around with. Right now, I've actually sort of detoured back into Fallout, because some stuff we got going on. We're going to be going on in the Fallout feed in March. So I was pretty intense with Skyrim through probably about mid into January, trying to work on my Xbox achievement. It's in sight. I only have 2 achievements left. So my character is Banya Diadanth. She's a Bosmer, a female Bosmer with key skills of archery, destruction, and sneak. So she is a sneaky archer by definition, with some destruction magic. Her class is warlock. Alignment is good, and the Leverstone. She married Octiev Sam, which is a really interesting match when you think about a young Bosmer and this crusty old human, crusty old Nord.
Crusty old drunken Nord.
Drunken Nord, that's right. He's cleaned up though. He's bringing in reliable income with the store, so he's
good for him.
I think the store's keeping him busy and out of trouble. She's adopted Blaze from Solitude. She also picked up, like everybody else did, she picked up Valendril Hall, like everybody else seemed to. Although, since I did these 4 quests so long ago, I really almost have no memory other than just how long they were. But she's there's sort of a good and a bad of it. I mean, I sort of took her away from sort of a strong RP thing and said, what the hell, I'm just going to go achievement whore. And so, of course, when I made that choice, I mean, I just started ticking off quests. So it sort of went away from the around level 45 or so. I just said, to hell with it. I'm just going to dive into starting to cross off quests and get achievements knocked out. So that kind of took away a bit of the RP mechanic. It's still fun, because it's stuff that to me is completely new, since I'm new to the game, but also stuff that I definitely see, I really want to come back, like Dark Brotherhood, for example. Like it's really not in her nature of true RP nature to do the Dark Brotherhood, but I said, what the hell, I'm just going to cross off that quest line with her. But I definitely do want to, we're looking forward to coming back and picking up some of those quest lines with a character that's more focused on those kinds of things. Like, she doesn't fit in the companions either, but I went ahead and did that, and did the stupid werewolf, the werewolf achievement, which I don't know if you guys, I don't recall it. A lot of talk about being a werewolf in any of the past shows. It doesn't seem like a lot of the community is super into being a werewolf. I don't know about you guys.
No, it's fine. A lot of people have a problem with it, but it's not that hard. I heard you talking about it on the Fallout feed. Although you do only transform for 90 seconds, if you kill somebody and eat them, it extends the time you stay as a werewolf.
Yeah.
So if you go out at night and literally go on a mad hunt to all the bandit camps and all the bandit caves that you can find, bear in mind you won't be able to loot anything while you're a werewolf. So you can actually get pretty high up in all the perk trees, get a lot of perks from going around and eating all the hearts. But you will have to do some quests again with Ayala to be able to get some of the perks.
Yeah. So actually, I discovered that not long after recording that follow-up feed, I did just as said, what the hell with it. I branched off and I did picked up with a character. And I said, I'm just gonna. So I started running one night. I just started running around all of Skyrim as a werewolf, and I think I might have gotten every perk but one in literally one rampage, because just what you said is as you eat the hearts, you extend the transformation. I think maybe one time I transformed back into a human or elf in her case, but I don't think now if you want the different totems, you have to mention with the elf, but you can get the perk without actually having the totem.
Yes.
Okay,
but it won't do you any good.
Right, but I wasn't at all interested in extending my actual sort of quote unquote RP time, is where I just wanted to cross off the Xbox achievement. So I didn't go get any of those totems. I had the perk dot, but I didn't actually have the totem power that's associated with it. Yeah. So and once I realized that actually wasn't that hard, you just basically go around. And once you get a couple of the enhancements, because early on, like I said, I was level 60 or whatever when I was doing this. The leveled enemies were killing me pretty hard. But then once I got a couple of the werewolf perks and buffed up a little bit, pretty much nothing was killing me. And then you also get the one that lets you eat animals, and that becomes even easier because you can kill the elk and the deer and the foxes and the bears and whatever, and eat them as well. I mean, it's not as effective, but if you run across a bear, you can eat its heart too. So it actually took me probably 3 hours of just kind of running around like a literal madman and doing that. So I got the vampire perk, and then the one that's really going to be tough is the Daedric quest. I think that one I may have to do with another character, because I think I may have chosen badly in a couple of the quests, because you have to get 15. And I don't think there's that many extra items in the game. I don't know if you guys have tried to get that quest on the Daedric items quest.
Yeah, I think as long as you haven't taken the Rueful Axe over and killed Barbers, and you haven't and you have killed Erendor and taken the staff, then you should be fine.
Which staff?
That's the one up in Dawnstar where you have all the orcs and the mages.
Oh,
and
yeah. Okay.
If you let the dark elf live, then you've lost that. You won't be able to get that one.
Yeah, I think with Barbas, you get one either way with him, right? You get the helmet one way.
No, the helmet is the artifact. The Rueful Axe is Clavicle's vial bending you over and giving you one.
Oh, okay. All right. So the helmet is what you want for Barbas.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, because I have the helmet.
You're the only one that the two are both are her scene where he gives you the ring or the Savior's hide. That's both. Both of those are Daedric artifacts.
And what about Azura? If you keep the Black Star, does that one count? Do you know?
Yeah, that's both. Both of them. They're still Azura Star.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's just one's you can put black souls in, and then the other one is you can keep on filling white souls with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to go do a little research and check my quest log, because I've got maybe half of the 15. I've got Sanguine Rose and Wabbajack and blah blah blah, but there's definitely some I haven't touched at all. So I'll have to see if I've blown it, or if there's a chance I can go ahead and do that one too.
Yeah, because if you need 15, you'll have the Sanguine Rose can only end one way, Wabbajack can only end one way. Mayrune's Razor, you can give that up.
I think I gave that up. Is that Dawnstar?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's the museum.
Yeah.
So if you don't kill the guy, then you've given that up. You've lost that one.
Yeah.
Periite can only end one way. Let's see. The Shagwell's hammer. Malakath, like the hammer of might, that can only end one way.
What about the haunted house thing in Markarth? Is that a Daedric quest or not?
Yes, that's a Daedric quest.
So, yeah, because that one, I think I might have blown that one because there's the priest that you find somewhere. I forget, like he's a prisoner in a bandit camp somewhere or a cave somewhere, and you're supposed to bring him. You're supposed to bring him to that shrine. I just killed him.
He runs there. Yeah,
I just killed him though.
Yeah, where? Back at the house or where you were?
I killed him as soon as I found him.
You go back to the house and see he might have shown up.
Okay. All right.
I don't think because I'm pretty sure. I mean, I haven't attacked him myself, but I'm pretty sure he should be more like Bal will actually be quite happy about you killing him.
Yeah. So that was so there's a couple like that I'm not sure that I might have screwed up. So that's one I may have to wait for another character to do. Okay. All right. So Victor and Colin, you guys want to give a real quick rundown on your characters, just for context?
Oh, sure. Well, mine's Freya Hawthorne, Bosmer. She's pretty much the same as yours, Pat, except that she's has conjuration rather than destruction. Other than that, she's a sneaky archer. Her alignment is, I don't remember. I think she has an evil alignment, but I can interpret that my own way. And she's a fighter, which kind of works out reasonably well. And she's level 34 right now. So, and we've talked about other things already. So, but that's my character.
All right, and Colin, your legate. How is your legate doing today?
Yeah, my character is Legate Clesia Iridia, an Imperial. You've all met her. She was the Imperial captain who sent you to the block just before Alduin arrived. Her specializations was two-handed, enchanting, and pickpocket. And she uses pickpocket to be able to use her skilled hands to be able to remove people's weapons, not to remove their gold. Let's see. Anything? Nope, that's about it.
All right, very nice, very nice.
Oh, there was one thing I wanted to say. While I was playing ESO, the part I was playing through was through the Aldmeri Dominion, which is all through Valen Wood, which is covered in Bosmer. And Bosmer are the most disgusting people ever. Literally the most horrific, lazy bunch of disgusting misfits that ever graced Tamriel. They live in squalor in their little trees that they have some magician grow out, and then they throw their junk out the window and call it recycling. We're just throwing it out there. It's there for the green, it's gonna sort of like help itself. They eat or drink stuff called rot meth, which is basically rotting flesh that's left to stew for about like half a year or something like that. And then they go on about eating each other or eating people's wives and everything. It's literally are the most disgusting people ever.
I'm sure they don't eat anyone that didn't deserve it. Okay. Well, why don't maybe we'll jump into some feedback here. We got a couple of things. Actually, one of them is not direct feedback, but Colin, it's fan mail for you. It's a little short note from Adam from the Facebook group who says, I really enjoyed Colin's College of Winterhold playthrough. Is there any chance he'd do a Dark Brotherhood playthrough? Loving the podcast, the Facebook group. Keep up the excellent work. So, Adam, thanks for writing in. Colin, so you got a fan out there. Put you on the spot. What's next for you for a Let's Play?
I told him, I said, thank you very much, Adam. That was amazingly nice of him to say that and post it in the group as well. And it made my already overinflated ego even bigger, if you can believe that. But I'm quite impressive, so I've got quite an impressive ego too. But thank you very much, Adam, and it was much appreciated. Thank you, sir. And I have thrown my name into the hat. The only issue is it's one of the most loved quest lines of the game. So I think for me, it's Main is my favorite. And then it's probably Mages and Companions for me. But for Michael, it would probably be Thieves and Dark Brotherhood. It would probably be Civil War and Dark Brotherhood for Victor. And it would probably for Andrew.
Bards.
Bards. Yeah.
Definitely
He's already done Bards.
Oh yeah, but Bards is his favorite though.
It's his groove, yeah.
Yeah. So Victor, you're on what, about, is it 19, 16 of Companions?
Episodes, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm up to 22 now, and I haven't quite finished it yet. So, I think on what's been posted is only up to like 12 or 13.
Okay.
So there'll be 23 or 24. I've only got a couple more to go. Yeah. I've been sort of taking it easy on that. So, but it's pretty much I've got it pretty much at the conclusion right now. So.
All right, very nice. Yeah, you're really enjoying all of them.
I was just going to say, finish off there. Yeah, I've thrown my name into the hat, Adam, and we'll see what we get. Yeah,
I think last I heard from Michael, I think there's been no decisions about what's next. But Victor, you probably what are you posting, Victor? Two a week, 3 a week? What's your?
I don't know what Michael's posting them, so I haven't really paid much attention to what. I think it's 1 or 2 a week anyway. So there's a few weeks left to go. Yeah. I won't be doing another one, so whoever wants the rest of them it's up for grabs. But I won't be doing another quest line. So.
Okay. All right, Adam. So thanks for writing in. Had another email from I guess a quite new listener. So it's always good to know that we're getting new people finding the show for however they may find it. This is from Josh. As he wrote this, he said he found the podcast just 3 days ago. So I think that's about 2 weeks ago, and as we record. So Josh, welcome to the family. Glad to have you listening into the show. Josh he actually shared he went out to the website and rolled a Roundtable character and shared that with us. Yeah, it's really cool here. So let me share what he's written in here. I'm thankful to the Roundtable because it's giving me more motivation to get back into Skyrim. I'll be running a fairly vanilla game only with one mod, realistic lighting overhaul at the beginning. May experiment as I progress. I'll attach my stats. He's got his stats in here. He's playing a red guard who will adopt Samuel. He's created a good backstory for himself. His name will be Azir Naruma, brother of Nazir of the Dark Brotherhood, named after a League of Legends champion, desert theme like the Alakir. However, unlike his brother, he does good deeds, condemning the actions of the Dark Brotherhood, specializing in block, alteration, and alchemy. He'll fight with a one-handed sword and light armor for the Empire, imbued with all manner of poisons to take out the Brotherhood, and ultimately his brother and his horrific ways. He will reside in Lakeview Manor with his adopted son Samuel, and will marry the lovely Morwen of the Skull people. Interesting. Health 2, Magicka 3, and Stamina 1. And I'll mention one other thing about his character because he actually wrote in with a follow-up question. Maybe Colin, you or Victor or Marcus will know the answer to. He has a guardian stone of the Steed Stone, and he actually wrote back in, had a question. Oh, by the way, he's also got the Reekling Warrior follower, which I find very amusing. Those things are so silly. So he had a couple of questions. One was this: does the Steed Stone reduce the noise heavy armor makes since it becomes weightless? It says no movement penalty on the wiki, but I don't know if that means the noise it makes when moving. Anybody got any insight on that question?
I have no idea.
As far as I know, no, it doesn't affect your sneak skill whatsoever. As far as I know.
I've not seen anything change on there. I'm actually looking it up as we speak as well, so it doesn't specify anything on any wiki about it.
Yeah, if you're looking for like a quiet down, then you're probably looking for the spell or the enchantment, and even the enchantment will only like reduce the noise. It won't get rid of it from all of your armor.
Hmm.
Now does muffle specifically, Colin, or
Yeah, muffle
Yeah.
enchantment.
So muffle is
muffle spell.
50%? Is that right? I think I remember.
I don't think it's that specific. I think it just says it reduce. You've got a perk that reduces the noise from your armor.
Yeah. But I was thinking muffle because I know, Colin, I've heard you talking, I think, on a recent show about stacking 4 25% cost reduction items to get your cost to 0 for magic spells, right? That I think I heard that right. I wonder, because you can put muffle on boots and one other item. I forget. There's 2 items that you can put muffle on, and so can you have 2 muffle items that have 0 noise? I don't know if muffle works that way.
I don't think so. I haven't checked. I didn't even know that you could put muffle on 2 different items. What could it be? A necklace or a ring?
It may be. It may be a jewelry, or maybe it's. I remember when I was running it. You know, as you do when you're grinding enchantments, you like say, "Oh, what can I put on these? Whatever gloves or whatever I was screwing around with." All of a sudden, I was playing around with something unexpected, and it let me add muffle. I don't think it was a jewelry, but I want to say it was gloves. I don't know. Whatever. But I think I found that you can put muffle on something besides the boots. So, and then the other question that Josh had in his note, speaking of the Dark Brotherhood, is it possible to do the Dark Brotherhood quest line up to when you get the 20,000 gold reward for assassinating the Emperor, then kill the Dark Brotherhood? Or do you have to decide to pick your side, Brotherhood or Pentinus Oculatus, before that?
You have to pretty much, when you're in the cabin, that's when you pick your side.
Yeah,
in the Emperor's.
In the abandoned shack there. Yeah,
that's when you pick your side. It doesn't matter. But after that, if you don't choose to go the other way, after that, they're was it essential for the rest of the quest to you anyway. You can't kill them.
Okay. All right. So Josh, thanks for writing it. Keep sharing the feedback as you play along with your character. You got a little catching up to do, but we still have, I think, 2 more shows. So you should have a few weeks, several weeks to get caught up if you want to keep giving us feedback as you move through your playthrough with your new character. So thanks a lot for taking time to write in.
I like the Red Guards in ESO. You have these people that you can hire. They're called hirelings, funny enough, and they go out and, like, you've got one for blacksmithing, you got one for cooking, and you got one for enchanting, and they go out and they grab your materials and send them to you in the mail, but they always send them to you with a little note. And one of the ones where I get my enchanting materials from, it's 2 Red Guard brothers, and literally you'll have one sending you notes for 3 days, and then the other one will send one note basically telling all what the other one said was a complete load of crap. There was one where they were saying that they ran into a ruin, and they were looking for some runes for me to be able to use for my enchanting, and they ran across a dragon priest. So they hightailed it out of there, and it chased them out of the ruin and down the road. And only when they got halfway down the road did they realize that the swords could actually hurt it. Well, in which case they turned around and then chased it all the way back into the ruin and then hacked it to death back inside the ruin. So it was kind of like, it was chasing them out, and then they realized, oh wait, no, and then they chased it all the way back in again. The visual was quite funny when you're reading it.
Nice. Yeah, it seems like those guys they're all about sort of airing their dirty laundry, because you got the one quest line in Skyrim where those guys are showing up in Whiterun looking for the one escaped woman or whatever, and it's like, oh, come on guys, just sort yourselves out, don't bring your dirty laundry to Skyrim. Take care of it. All right, so we have one other feedback. This is from Ray. Actually, Ray, I'm not sure he's still in the chat. Ray actually popped by earlier in the chat for a few minutes. I'm not sure he's still there, but Ray sent us in a nice audio feedback. So let me get this queued up here, and I think you guys will be able to hear this. Okay, I got to play it through my phone, but let me get this started. So this is Ray's feedback on our quest for this episode.
Hello, Skyrim Roundtable. Ray here with the ongoing tale of Cyrodiil Stormoran and his traveling companion Lydia. It was a long, slow...
I think we've lost him.
No, we're not. You've muted yourself.
Yeah.
Decided that we needed to go
There
to
we
the
go.
Skyhaven.
Sorry about that.
Cyrodiil says he'll
You will-
meet them then. Skyrim Roundtable. Ray here with the ongoing tale of Cyrodiil Stormoran and his traveling companion Lydia. It was a long, slow walk from Ripton with the old man, but he's an accomplished mage, so he could hold his own in a fight. As we entered Riverwood, we found it under attack by a blood dragon. After dispatching the dragon, we talked to Esbern and Delphine and decided that we needed to go to the Skyhaven Temple. Cyrodiil says he'll meet them there. After a few days en route, refreshing and retooling, Cyrodiil and Lydia take a wagon to Markarth. Down the trail to Karthspire, they find Esbern and Delphine holding off yet another blood dragon. Wading into the frenzy, made worse with the addition of the Forsworn encamped at Karthspire, Cyrodiil and Lydia mop up the whole mess. After all that is done, there's still a damn Hagraven to boot. Once inside the cave, a couple of activary puzzles are a little resistance. Only Cyrodiil's blood will open this incredibly cool door. He has to find a way to get Lydia to let him put that on the Severin Manor house. Inside, Delphine gets impatient with Esbern, but Cyrodiil is mesmerized by the stonework. This place is in such good condition. Esbern studies the wall and posits that ancient Nords used a shout to knock dragons out of the sky. They decide he must go to the Greybeards to find out more. Delphine is afraid of their pacifism influencing Cyrodiil. Not much chance of that. He gets a Dragon Slayer blessing from Esbern, and off they go. Reaching High Hrothgar, Cyrodiil talks to Angier, who reveals his stubborn fight against resisting Alduin's destruction of the world. He thinks maybe that's the way it should be. Cyrodiil is not ready to give up that easily. Angier refuses to talk to him, but Ernarth reminds him, in a very loud booming voice, that it's not his decision. Angier relents, going outside to the courtyard and up the stairs reveals the clear sky shout. And this leads the way to the top of the mountain and the true leader of the Way of the Voice, Parthenax. This interesting old dragon loves conversation. Boy, does he love conversation. Fortunately, he's got a great voice. He sends Cyrodiil on a quest to find an Elder Scroll that will lead him to the source of the shout he seeks. In the course of the conversation, the dragon teaches him the fire breath shout, and through meditation, Cyrodiil learns to strengthen his force and fire shouts. They climb to the top of the peak, mine a little bit of ore, pick up the notch axe, and back down the hill. After his confrontation earlier with Angier, he decides that Esbern is where he will go to begin the search for the Elder Scroll. They truck all the way back to the Skyhaven Temple, another dragon soul absorbed along the way. Waking Esbern, it was a wasted trip. He doesn't know where to find one and suggests that Cyrodiil go to the College of Winterhold. Another long trip. Feralda, one of the mages, stops him at the entrance. And after telling her what he's looking for, she tells him that she needs proof that he's the Dragonborn. A quick foos, and she's convinced. And on her butt. A town guard heard the commotion and bravely rushed in. He was relieved it was nothing. As Feralda recovered, the guard scolded them and went back to his patrol. Feralda escorts Cyrodiil to the college and tells him to talk to Maribel. He found her dressing down an uppity Thalmor mage. Talking to the Arcanium director, he is quite derogatory until he learns that Cyrodiil is dragonborn. He gives us a book about a fish, a bird, an acorn, and stars that makes absolutely no sense. Then another book that says that if you're lucky enough to read an Elder Scroll, it'll make you go blind. Ureg Goshrub tells Cyrodiil about the foremost expert, Septimus Sigmus, but doesn't know where or when he'll return. We will just have to go and look for him. Out on the ice floes, there's a small opening with a boat outside. That looks promising. Inside, Cyrodiil finds Septimus and asks about the Elder Scroll. He offers a trade. If Cyrodiil will transcribe a lexicon, Sigmus will reveal the location of the scroll. He needs to find the Dwemer Oculary, and Septimus sends him to Alftad. This is a large, sprawling ruin that never seems to end. Through a gate, there's a centurion. Showing no fear, Lydia wades in with Volendrum and drains him. We come across two thieves that are fighting in the next room. They're in the way and have to be dispatched. Coming across a mechanism that matches the orb Septimus gave Cyrodiil, the wheels turn and a stairway opens up. The stairway leads to an entrance of a huge cave called Blackreach. The observatory is in there somewhere. So much here to explore. Cyrodiil and Lydia are already too loaded down with loot. They're going to have to come back and really see what this place has to discover. In the observatory, he finds a fascinating Dwemer contraption. There's a pylon that looks like this blank cube will fit. Sure enough, it is activated, and after trying a few combinations, the crystals in the center lower and split in two, revealing the scroll. Damn that Septimus. At the same time, the lexicon transforms and is covered with unfamiliar writing. That clever old man must have known this would happen all along. As much as they would like to stay, it's off to see Septimus again. Cyrodiil wants the shout that will bring down the dragon. One last look around the room reveals a less fortunate explorer, Drokt. He died before solving the puzzle. Giving the lexicon to Septimus reveals the need for Dwemer blood to open the vault he is trying to access. He says if he has the blood of each of the living dwarven races, he might be able to trick the lock. Cyrodiil now needs to find a source. Leaving Septimus's cave, he's stopped by Hermaris Mora in the form of a wretched abyss. Seer of the unseen, knower of the unknown. This is going to be interesting. On the road near Agnes Mill, they came across Alduin raising a dragon, Vinidruth. He was relentless, but in the end was no match. We are attacked by every Khajiit and Argonian in Skyrim. No elves. Finally, a dark elf and a high elf in Hobbs Fall, Falmer in Stillborn Cave, Orc in Uttering Hills. Cyrodiil laments to Lydia, my kingdom for a Bosmer. Finally, almost a Falkreath, and we find one killed by a cave bear. How convenient. Time to return to Septimus. That was anticlimactic. The vault opens. I pick up a book. Septimus disappears. The abyss appears. Calls Cyrodiil the champion. And so ends Alduin's Wall, the Throat of the World, and Elder Knowledge, and Discerning the Transmundane. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Ray. Appreciate that really good feedback.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And just real quick, and then we'll see if there's any comments. So Ray also added along this. He says, "This is as far as I have ever been in the main quest line. From here on out, I'm in unfamiliar territory. I did that when I knew I was going to be doing the roundtable." He said he forgot to tag it on at the end, but Cyrodiil's spec sheet, he is level 30. He's got 83 in two-handed, 36 in alchemy. Clearly not working at alchemy, Ray. I think you're only 36. That is the easiest stat to level. Go grind at that table, man.
Yeah, really.
59 in enchanting, which is not much harder to grind through. He completed the Civil War for the Stormcloaks. Had Sven and Glada as followers. Has Severn Manor as a home, and he still has to marry Torvar and get Lucia as an adoptee. Not sure how he's going to weave all that and the Dark Brotherhood in the story, but they will be there at some point. So he must have picked up the Dark Brotherhood as his assigned faction. So
Nice.
It's a pity getting Tovar as well, because to get Tovar, he has to do the companions.
At least part way, anyway.
So Torvar is one of the companions?
He's the guy who's always saying, "Time to go down to the I don't know, the Bannered Mare. I can smell the mead from here," or something like that. He's sort of the tipsy one. Yeah. He's like the companion's version of Koznak from Markarth.
All right.
So,
and Ray actually is still in the chat. He said, "As a badass, it is hard to pick flowers along the road." Ray, you can buy your ingredients. If you don't want to be seen picking daisies, you can buy them. Okay.
Ray, I have two ingredients for you: hanging moss and blue mountain flower, and you're good to go. Just that'll level you up really fast.
What does that make, Victor?
It makes some stupid potion that has two values that kind of conflict, but it's very valuable, and it'll run you up really fast. So yeah, it's not a useful potion at all.
Yeah, I slow I think is the one, because there's a lot of things that make slow potions, and those a lot of them tend to be pretty valuable. So those are the ones that when I'm grinding potions, I try to go for the slow. A couple other things that I found that for me work. That seem like they're really common ingredients.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the elusive salmon roe that insane water breathing potion.
Such a pain in the butt to.
Yeah.
So, I had fun doing that. At least the first part of that, discerning the transmundane, because I had I also have Lydia with me, and I love Alftan, by the way. It's one of my favorite Dwemer ruins, especially because of that long spiral going downward where you can easily fall off to your death, especially if you have companions who don't have any personal space compunctions. But I got all the way through. I got into Blackreach and pretty much did the same thing. I just run through Blackreach, head right for Mazark, come back to Blackreach later. Got all the way through that. Got all the way out of Mazark and realized Lydia wasn't in with me. So I had to go all the way back in and find her. And she was hung up with some Falmer somewhere, aggroed, and she just couldn't. So I had to free her from that. Got all the way back to, and of course I don't fast travel, right? So I got all the way back to Septimus's hideout and realized I had forgotten to pick up the lexicon. So
no.
All the way back again. And I couldn't remember where Mazark comes out, and so I had to wander around for a while above Fort Dunstad until I found the tower where it comes out, because it doesn't have a map marker. So anyway, that was my rueful experience with my most recent foray. But
I kind of want to see that as a mod now, where they have that Remus Cyrodiil's head moving back up as the door to your house.
Yeah,
that just sounds like such a cool idea. I like him arguing with Lydia. Just pick it up, see if you can carry it.
Yeah,
standing outside and sort of like Esbern and Delphine are inside, and all they hear is just banging and clanging as she's trying to rip it off the wall.
Oh, nice.
I know she's butch, but she's not that butch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really got because I think the direct line of what you have to do in Blackreach is not that much, if I remember right. But I kind of got off track in Blackreach and wound up like going just all over the freaking place. If I remember right, that if you just want to take a beeline to what you have to do, it's not that far.
Well, it's all the way across. If you come in from Alftan, you're pretty much going all the way across Blackreach to get to it. But you can follow the road.
Yeah.
And eventually get there.
I think that's what I'm thinking about. That if I didn't realize that you could just follow the road and that would be a relatively straight shot. But I wound up getting off on sidetrack. Yeah, it's not unfun, but that was it for me. It's sort of the negative of the round table. If you say, okay, I want to get to a certain point in the round table, then that makes me kind of, at least for me anyway, I'll wind up rushing through a quest when really that quest deserves like it really deserves like I should have paused after Elder Knowledge and said, okay, that that's a pretty meaty quest line. I should have paused there and done Transmundane a different day, but I tried to kind of power through them all at once. And at least for me at that time, that was a mistake. It would have been better for me for that quest if I'd really taken my time and because it's a fun location. It's a lot to do there, but if you're trying to kind of rush through it, it's tough.
Yeah, it is. We did this the first time too, including discerning the Transmundane, and I think it probably would have been better to leave it out because you don't really need to complete it to further the main quest line. And Blackreach is definitely worth exploring. It's a pretty cool place. So
I as part of my character, I didn't do discerning the Transmundane. She looked at that crazy old man and she said she's not going to give him anything to hurt himself with, so just get the box with it. So she's not going back there. She never got to see was it Molag? Not Molag Bell.
Hermaeus Mora.
Hermaeus Mora.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't come until you actually go back with the box. So
yeah.
You didn't know any of that. I would like to say I have Lydia because she's my spouse in the game. And I had a sort of like oh no moment and then a oh shit moment. We were fighting something somewhere and I pulled back and went to do like a standing power attack and then Lydia stepped right in front of me and it came crashing down and I was like, it was kind of like in slow motion. It was like, oh no, and I cracked right down on the back of her. And that was my oh no moment. My oh shit moment was her health bar barely moved. I was like, oh, shit. I really don't want to annoy her because literally didn't fucking move. I think she might have got slightly OP and
sounds like it.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
I think it's because she's on legendary, so all the other NPCs, including your followers, have all got increased resistances and increased sort of like damage, and yours is less, isn't it? You take damage more easier, more damage than everybody else in the game. I think that's how they've done the legendary thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of like oh shit, I'm sorry. Oh shit, oh I'm sorry.
That's why I like the companion's insight from the Black Book. Just makes that not a problem at all. Yeah, and the fatality rates of my followers, that's a handy thing for me to have.
Yeah, you got some skills with that.
Yeah, I tell you, Lydia, and although Borgok was not my follower when she died, she was my assigned Roundtable follower, and I was going to go retrieve her after running around with one of the others, and she got gacked by a dragon right as I was trying to go find her. That whole orc stronghold got wiped out.
So, Pat, are you like the flip side of Andrew then?
Yeah, in the sense that I despise followers and wish they weren't in the game. Yeah, in that sense, yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that you kill all of them.
It's always accidental, but not with a lot of regret. No, I genuinely I won't say that I regret it. Although I did feel kind of bad about the dog because I killed him. You know that dog you can buy outside Markarth, that big like wolfhound looking thing. Vigilance, right? I think it's Vigilance. Yeah.
I think that actually is Andrew's favorite follow-up.
Yeah. Woof, woof, woof. So I bought Vigilance, and no sooner than I had Vigilance than I took him into the stupid haunted house and slightly hurt him, and then like he went all aggro, so I had to just kill him. So yeah, that was not fun. Buy the dog, and within 30 minutes, he's dead because he went all aggro on me. Anyway. Followers and I don't tend to get along. But since I had the let's see, who am I rocking now? Let's see, is it Argus? Am I back with Argus? Or who's the redhead who's basically redheaded Lydia?
Uthgard.
Is she in Solitude?
Iona. Oh no,
Iona. Is she got short hair? Redhead.
Yeah, there's short head, and she's very similar to. Very similar to Lydia.
Iona from Riften.
Oh, Riften. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think there's a couple of them that are pretty similar models to Lydia with slightly different hair or whatever.
If she's got blonde hair, that's the one from Solitude.
Okay, maybe it is the blonde. Yeah. So It's always funny. I was running around with Argus for a long time. Argus was my first follower I didn't kill, just because I had him. He was the one I happened to have tricked out in the full ebony and everything else, and he was pretty well protected from me.
So you don't put armor on them to protect them from all of the other monsters from you.
I'm the most dangerous thing in their lives right now. Especially and horses. I'm not good with horses either. That's why Arvac. I'm a big fan of Arvac because if you kill him, he just comes right back. All right, guys. So we got through everything we had planned to cover here. Anything else before we start wrapping up the show?
No, I think we're pretty much done, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think so. All right. So actually, in just a short week from, I don't know if it's Saturday or so, I don't have the exact day, but next weekend, the Roundtable crew will be picking up session 5.
Saturday, the 5th of March.
Yeah. Is it Saturday? Thank you.
Or the 4th. Yeah, one of the other 4th.
March.
Yeah.
Saturday, the 4th March. And at 5 p.m. US Eastern, we shall be doing the quests Alduin's Bane, A, The Fallen, and B, Season Unending, but only if you haven't completed the Civil War. If you have completed Civil War, you will not be doing Season Unending. And then 14C will be Parthenax.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So that's some good quests. Not, I don't think any of those, other than of course the big fight with Alduin. There's none of those are. I don't remember any of those being nearly so lengthy as the ones, but obviously very pivotal kind of quests there. So if anybody's out there listening has feedback on those quests, I'm sure we'll be doing a feedback episode in 2 or 3 weeks. So look to get in feedback. You guys know how to reach the show, askyrimaddictpodcast@gmail.com or Skyrim Roundtable. I don't know that one off the top of my head. Anyway, there's in the show notes. There'll be all the email addresses where you can get in touch with us. We're all over the Twitters and the Facebooks and all over the places. You guys know how to get in touch with us by now. So check out all the other great ASA content, and you know where to find that stuff too as well. asapodcasting.com has all the links, and they're in the show notes as well. Everybody, thanks for joining. It's been a pleasure doing the feedback episode with you guys. Marcus, glad you're able to join.
Thank you.
Victor, thanks for joining.
Always a slice.
All right. And Colin, thanks to you as well.
Thank you for hosting, Patrick. It was an absolute pleasure. Very well run.
Thank you. A pleasure for me as well. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you next time when we pick up the Roundtable for session 5. And music plays. Boom.